this is where LifeVantage is right now. I said it was a publicly traded company. Very, very important. Every company in the world goes through the bell curve. You have a formulation period. The next phase is critical mass. Then you have momentum. You have stabilization. So we're positioned exactly where Microsoft was in 1984. How many people invested $1,000 in Microsoft in 1984? Raise your hand. If you did, you wouldn't be here today. All right, because you're worth 10 million. Okay, so timing is everything. All right, so this is how it works right here. This is like a bell curve. Right now, this is. I'm not very good at this, but this is where LifeVantage is right here. This is the formulation period. This is the most infancy stage a company can be in. Okay. Here is critical mass. Okay. This is critical mass. Simply means Protandim is starting to be branded. That's all it means. Okay. You're starting to see some momentum, some growth. Here, if you went to 10 people today after this luncheon and you go ask them, tell me what you know about Protandim. Because they're right here, 10 people or 9 of 10 people say, I have no idea what you're talking about, never heard of it. And by the way, that's good news and that's bad news. The good news is the window of opportunity from a financial standpoint, it could not be any greater right now. Okay, the bad news is you better have thick skin because you're going to get a lot of arrows in your back. If somebody hasn't heard of a product, they're going to really beat you up. And you have to be impenetratable. Let it bounce off of you and just come back. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but this is what I found. That's all you say. It's that simple, okay? All right, so this is formulation. This is critical mass. This is when the companies be doing between 5 and 8 million a month. What did we do last month? A little over 3 million. When I got started with this company, they were doing 200,000 a month. Wealth managers saying, don't invest. Don't spend your time. Okay? This is when it's branded. So when we're here, 2 or 3 of those 10 people that you just talked to would say something like this. Oh yeah, Fred Davis, John Zier, those guys got something going on in this city. Yeah, they're taking that product. I heard about that. That's when it becomes branded, okay? Here is the momentum phase. This is where wealth is created. This is where your $10,000 investment in Microsoft becomes 10 million here. Because all 10 of those people come to you and say, hey John, hey Fred, how can I get it? Now remember, we have exclusivity. It's not in CVS pharmacies, it's not GNC stores anymore. They have to come to you. All right, so you want to have as many people in your organization right here as you can. And we have some time. 3 out of every 10 million people in this country, think about that for a second. Only 3 out of every 10 million in this country happens to be at the right place at the right time. And every single one of you in this room is there. All right, think about how many opportunities has been passed your way. And think about that for a second, whether it's Melaleuca, Amway, you know, I don't even know all of them. New Skin, Mary Kay, all those great companies that are billion-dollar companies now. You're always behind. In front of the basketball going through the hose. Right now, you're behind it. All right, that's where you want to be right now, because this is where wealth is going to be created. And then here, you have stabilization. Who wants to buy Microsoft stock now? Not too exciting, is it? Behind the basketball. Okay, you want to be in front of the basketball going through the hose. That's where you want to be. All right, so this is where we're at right here. All right, that is so vitally important. There's a sense of urgency that every single one of you shouldn't be able to sleep at night because your heart's doing this. I didn't talk to enough people today. That's how I feel. I'm approaching 3,000 people in my organization. I still feel that way. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, what's so funny? I had a conversation with my wife on the way over here, and you know, she's got some. We went to Florida State together, and she has lots of sorority friends, and I have a lot of fraternity friends. My fraternity friends, by the way, are the ones that gives me, you know, the biggest poo-poo. They call me Peter Protandum, they call me Larry LifeVantage, you know, Mickey MLM. I mean, they laugh at me. You know, I use that as fuel. You know, I use that as fuel. You know, now when I'm telling them I'm profiting in the global sales of the company, now they're doing this. What are you doing again? I can tell them, yeah, see this, I got a pretty nice tan, don't I? I'm done at 9:30 in the morning every day. They don't believe it. All right, so I'm telling you, this model works. And all you do is just take the gas pedal and floor, you come up for air every 3 or 4 months. And you just have to be impenetratable. People are gonna look at you right square between and says, you know what, John, that's a multi-level marketing pyramid scam. Next. Keep your eye on the prize. All right? Your why you're doing this business should be so powerful that if you think about it, it makes you cry. Why I got in this business? I have an 11-year-old and I have an 8-year-old. And my kids, you know, they go to the top private school in Jacksonville. $2,600 a month for a 5th grade education and a 2nd grade education. I know, I can barely even say that. And for the first time, I've been married 25 years. For the first time in mid-2009, my wife's like, this 2,600 is getting pretty tough to come up with. We're 3 months behind. They're allowing me to make some payments now. All right, so my business is down 35%, just like every other business in this country. You know, our spending's still here. So my income, there's a 25-30% gap in my income, just like every single person that you know is. You know, so that was my why. I wasn't looking for something. To me, it was divine intervention. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. You know, and I just happened to look at this opportunity, try to disprove it. I couldn't disprove it. And I remember, never forget, my mentor says, Gabe, he goes, if you decide to do this business, it's a 15 to 24 month walk away. I said, whoa, time out. Define walk away. He says, whatever you're doing right now, you can walk away if you want. This is my 19th month, and I kid you not, I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm saying this to press upon you that I can just throw in the towel now. What took me 33 years to build, I have 30 personal trainers. Since I've been doing this business, by the way, part-time, I've developed 2 wellness facilities, you know, in Jacksonville for large corporations. In the process of developing the wellness program for the Mayo Clinic. All right, not to mention handling 15 companies. Did this part-time, now I'm ready to throw in the towel. Only reason why I'm not is because I have 30 families to feed in this economy. Kid you not. I'm trying to figure out how am I going to slowly but surely back off. Okay? So I'm telling you, this is what my mentor told me. Take the pill every day. Talk to everybody about the pill and never miss a meeting. That's all I've done. I've never missed it. I went to every elite academy. I went to every premier school, even when we didn't have one in Jacksonville, drove 4 hours to Tampa. That's what you have to do. I mean, so your why has got to be pretty strong. My why is extremely strong. It's my kids. And understand this, you can leave a legacy now. My kids, if anything happens to me, God forbid, my kids they're profiting in the global sales of the company. What is global sales? We have 3 markets. We've got Japan, Mexico, United States. In your mind right now, fast forward 3 to 5 years. We're going to have 100 markets. I don't know anybody in Japan, don't know anybody in Mexico, and guess what? Skip Campbell, you know, all the top leaders in LifeVantage, I'm now getting paid on their organization. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay? So this opportunity, it's bigger than you can wrap your arms around right now. And I'm telling you, just earn while you learn. Okay? And what you have to do is, I'm telling you, when I say don't miss a meeting, you don't miss a meeting. Every time you go to a meeting, you're going to hear something you didn't hear the week before, and you're going to start to get it. So right now, you have all these light bulbs around your head, and right now there's only a couple of them going off in your heads right now. All of mine are not lit yet, but they're getting close. Okay, it takes time. Think about this. It's taken me 33 years, you know, in the fitness industry to exceed what making with LifeVantage exceed what I did. But I've worked hard for those 18 months. Treat it like a multi-million-dollar opportunity. Don't treat it like a $600 opportunity, like a lot of people do. You really, really focus. You're going to have your own distribution company. Okay, and let's talk about how to get started. Okay. When I saw this right here, I couldn't believe it. $600 to get started. I've been opening up gyms for 30 years. The very first gym opened up in 1981. It cost me $500,000. Who owns your own business here? How much does it cost you to open your own business?
Oh, Lord. I used to be in the shopping center business, so we'd spend millions of dollars before we knew we had a deal.
Okay.
You know.
What kind of business do you have?
Curves.
Okay. And what was your franchise fee?
$80,000.
Okay. $600. Are you kidding me? This is so low risk, I had to ask twice. Okay, you're kidding me. What are you talking about, $600? Because what you get for $600, you have your own distribution company. You know what that means? You're Mr. Starbucks. You're not a franchisee. You're Mrs. Curves or Mr. and Mrs. Curves. You're not a franchisee with this right here. You're not you're Mr. Panera. whatever, I can't think of any other big franchises. You're going to get $535 in product to start your business. You can customize that in 2 ways. You're going to get around $65 in marketing. This is product. This is marketing material to get you started, like CDs, DVDs, newspapers, brochures, just to get you going. I think the biggest value is your website. If you try to replicate that site, it will cost you $500,000. I haven't spent 1 penny in 19 months on that right there. That's what drives my business, is this right here. You're also going to be qualified for the Infinite Fast Start bonus. This is what's going to help you stay afloat. In compensation plans, you have a front end and you have a back end. This is the front end. So the residual, my mentor told me this. He says, Gabe, it's like pushing a boulder uphill. I mean, you see it. There's nothing, you know. This keeps you afloat. And I'll get into this. I know we got about 10 more minutes. I'm going to be here as long as you want me to be here to go over the compensation plan. I'm not going to go over it right now because I want to respect everybody's time. And then last but not least, you're going to get 400 personal volume points. To me, right here, this is the most important because that's how each and every one of you rank in advance. There's 10 levels to the compensation plan. Okay? You get 100% when somebody in your organization buys a bottle of Protanum, bottle of True Science, or becomes a distributor. Not a percentage like other multi-level marketing companies, 100%. So every single one of you that are distributors in here, I received those same 400 points that you did when you became a distributor. How cool is that? Okay, pretty strong, all right? The $64,000 question is, how do I get my investment back? In this economy, are you kidding me? Everyone, you know, is cognizant about the 600. So this is you. Because we're so early in the game right now, what I'm going to recommend that you do is your first 3 people are going to be people that you want to travel with, people you want to have fun with, you know, people you want to make money with. Those are your first 3. Do we know a few of those? Of course. It could be family. Every time you enroll somebody the same way that you came in at the $600, you're going to get $210 next week. So I tell people, you talk to enough people, you're going to get your $600 before the billing cycle of the credit card hits your mailbox. You want to get it before it? Just talk to enough people. That's all it is. You can't talk to 3. You know, some people get lucky and talk to 3 and they're batting 1,000. Okay, in this business, you're 250, you're making $10 million a year. Okay, so that's how you get it. What's really cool is the Infinite Fast Start bonus, and I won't go into the entire part of it, but something really cool happens when you enroll your 4th. You're going to get a raise. You're going to get 260 next week instead of 210. That goes to infinity, by the way. So when you enroll your 5th, 6th, and 7th, all right, 60th and 70th distributor, you're still getting paid $260. It's a one-time payout, $260. But now here, let's say, for example, this is John Zier, all right? And John wanted to get his investment back before the billing cycle of his credit card hits his mailbox. So I just made $50 on all 3 of those people. And these people I don't know. Let's say this is Fred Davis. Fred does the same thing. I just made another $150. That goes to infinity. D. So here's what I've done. And I tell everybody exactly what I've done. I've never done this before. This is totally blowing me away. I've personally, I can't say 33 anymore because I just enrolled 7 people yesterday, the day before. I'm trying to get the iPad, by the way. So I've enrolled 40 distributors. 40 distributors in 19 months. Okay? Think about that for a second. 40 distributors in 19 months. If you look at my genealogy, I've got close to 900 distributors in my organization. 900 of this. That's one. 899 more that's doing this. Some people don't do anything. Some people are like me and have close to 3,000 in your organization. How many $50 bills do you think I'm getting a week? It exceeds my residual income, which is going to be $8,820 next month. It exceeds that. This is serious money now. Very serious. This is nothing to play with. This is something I want to get your attention today. And for those of you who aren't distributors, get with the person you signed that brought you here today. Get yourself a LifeVantage ID number and come hear me tonight. Come hear me this afternoon. I'll do training. I'll do whatever I can to get you off the ground. You'll get your investment back by the beginning of the month if you wanted it. Okay? Just move at a pace you've never moved before, because that's the urgency that's going on right now. Once we hit this, once we're here, if like right now, I have 2,800 and I don't know, I'll say 2,850. When we hit here, that goes to 7,000. Remember I said those 2 or 3 people? Here, nobody heard of Pro Tandem. 0 out of 10. Here, 2 or 3 out of 10. So my business is going to increase threefold. When we go here, those 7 become 70,000. Think about people that you know that became a distributor in the early 70s with Amway. First 10%. By the way, where we are today, we're in the first 1/10 of 1%. The definition of ground floor opportunity is when a company has 125,000 distributors. 125,000 distributors nationwide. We have less than 30,000. What's interesting is 2/3 of that number is in California, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, now Texas. So think of the map. Think this is right here. That's Kansas. Anything towards the East Coast, you be on the phone today calling people up. They have a big circle of influence, has a lot of credibility, that's a mover and shaker. Listen to me. All right? I just partnered with a publicly traded company that manufactures a standalone anti-aging product that has 3 patents. Can you do me a favor? Don't say another word until they say something. Next person who talks loses, by the way. So when they say, sure, Gabe, what do you need? ABC Primetime just did a segment. I want to know what your thoughts are. Give them the web address. Now, how many of us can do that? Do we say superoxide dismutase? Do we say free radicals, oxidative stress? I told one of my college buddies that, he started laughing. He started laughing at me, click. What are you trying to be? Click. Trying to be a junior scientist? Click. They don't respect you as a junior scientist. They respect you as a curves owner, though. They respect you as a personal trainer. So don't let I'm gonna finish up with the ABC Primetime. Can anybody do a better job than Dr. McCord on the video? Then why try? Think about that for a second. Why try? Can anybody just push play and sign them up? That's how simple it is. That's how. Right now, I use the ultimate fear of loss. If they have to think about it, never mind. Keep moving. I get phone calls back all the time. You can do that when you're starting to profit in the global sales company. Okay, you got a lot of power. Okay, but my point is, I just partnered with a publicly traded company. You've got everyone's attention. You're talking to leaders right now. You're talking to people that start their own business, that know how to build a business, which manufactures a standalone. There's no other product that does it. We have 3 patents on it. And you're saying it in this kind of tone. Can you do me a favor? Wait for them to say something. ABC Primetime did a segment. I'd like for you to watch it and let me know what your thoughts are. That's it. Done. Then all of a sudden, when they're watching it, you call that man right there. You call that man in the back. Ooh, I got somebody getting ready to watch the video. And then we're going to have an expert talk to him. You cannot be the expert. It's third-party validation, okay? Any questions on the science before we watch the ABC Primetime?